First, excuse my voice. I sound like I got a cheese grater in my throat. I wanted to get this video out. I was thinking about it. So I've been doing all these travel posters and starting off with Mid-Journey and AI art and kicking it off that way. And have found that there are issues when you're emulating a vector style art graphic. And you want to actually create it into a vector file, and how to go about upscaling it, transferring it from your Photoshop PNG, what comes out of Mid-Journey, and getting a nice clean vector file in the end, that you get all the benefits from having a vector file. Why do we do vector files? We do it because we have unlimited resolution. You can scale it up, scale it down. It redraws on the fly because you're actually creating curves with fills instead of baked in rasterized images. So that being said, let's get into this. I want to just kind of go step by step. This might be a long video, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to put chapters in because I want people to watch this. It's got really important information, and the key is when you turn over a file, when you turn over artwork, you want it to look professional, and you want the presentation of the file, not just the artwork, to be professional. So, all right. So, here we are. We're in Photoshop. This is the image that came directly out of Mid-Journey. I've got my first step here is, obviously this is emulating a vector style graphic design. My first step here is to clean the image up. And what I do here is I'm going to make a duplication of my background layer. This is it. And I'm going to grab, and now I'm going to put a clean layer with nothing in it on top of it. I'm going to go to my brush tool, and I'm going to make it a very saturated red color. Let's see, how is my brush here? I'm working on a Cintiq, so right now this is what I call the grease pen stage. This is, in photography and stuff, when you're going over all your negatives and the slides and stuff, or style sheets, you're going through with a pen really quick and you're making your first edits, and this is how I keep track of what I need to do to the file, especially in the retouching scene. So this layer, we can call it notes. And this is everything I'm going to change really quickly in retouching. Remember, this is the original image that came out of Mid-Journey, so nothing has been done to it yet. Let's get in there and make a couple notes. All right, so we got a chairlift in the sky here. We don't want that. I can just circle this stuff because I know in my head what it means. I'm not handing it off to anyone. I do not want these ski tracks. While it's a cool element, it doesn't live within the visual vocabulary of what this design is. We're gonna get rid of that. I want it. Mid-Journey put a road in here. Looks like a road. That's what I would assume. I don't think people would be skiing on a road. Remember, this poster is a travel poster that is supposed to I want to give off the feeling of obviously winter sports. We got a skier here, could be a snowboarder, I don't know. I prefer snowboarding, but I'm open to all forms of winter alpine descent. I do not I don't know, hold anyone back from getting down the mountain anyway. As long as you're on the mountain, you're good with me. All right, so we're going to clean up a couple things. You know, here's a cool element. It looks like it's a lift tower or snow guns or something. But the fact is that I want more of a feel of nature. So we're going to reduce and simplify. We're going to get that out of there. You know, skiers and stuff will resonate with them, but somebody that's looking at this that might not be a winter sport athlete might be like, what is that? So we're going to take that out. This, I don't know what this text is, but we're going to change that. In the end, it's going to be something different. Down here around the bottom, it looks like there's some weird non-pixel thing going on. Now, if I just look through this real quick, I think we got everything, and I think those are what we're going to do to clean up our original image. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my background copy. Let's take the notes and just lock that off. Well, actually, let's turn the notes off. We got our image. It's fleshed out here. We've got a couple. So our steps here. Some of these need to be done in the right order, and some there is no order of operation. And the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this into Gigapixel. Now I'm going to take this image and I'm going to export it. I don't want to upscale it or anything at this point. As you can see, we're 1024 by 1536, not a huge image, 1:1, so it's not getting upscaled or anything, and we're going to save that out. Here is our image. We're going to open it, and the reason I'm going to the Gigapixel thing right now is I want to really show you guys where the issue happens for going to vector, for transferring this into a vector. So I'm using this as a low resolution. You know, you can try different AI models. Or do I want to go low resolution? All right, let's try Art and CG and save the image. Also, I'm upscaling by 6 times. So this is going to give us a, does this tell us what it goes to? 6,144 pixels by 9,000 something. And it processes the image. All right, so now we can close out of, now we can close out. I almost went too soon. We're gonna close out of that. And this is where the issues start to come in. So you can go into your Illustrator and let's open up the file we just saved out. It's going to be this massive file, our Gigapixel file. And we see where it is. Now I can already see issues here. If you look around like this line, you know, we want this to be graphical, and basically between this line and this line, it should be 2 colors. But if you look, there's this dark halo, and that was actually in the Mid-Journey I think, introduced it, and then Gigapixel expanded it. So we see this dark halo around the edge. So now we're starting to get some gradients and a lot of different colors. So to really take a look at this, we're gonna grab our image and let's do an image trace. And let's just expand this. And boom, look at that. So this is now a vector, but we're gonna zoom in here a little bit. And instead of having, you know, a curve here with green inside of it and curves here with this warm yellow or yellowish white, beige, whatever it is. Now there's all this gradients and stuff and these lighter stair stepping, you know, it's basically what's happened is you have just, when you create a vector, you're creating artwork that is infinitely scalable because it rebuilds, and so it should be nice and clean and precise. This, I just vectorized and baked in the aliasing, the anti-aliasing and stair stepping. So now when I scale it up, I'm going to be scaling up that artifacting, and there is no benefit to being a vector file. And there's no reason to have all these different slight variations of these colors. So this is what we're cleaning up. And we want clean curves. We want to get rid of, we don't want to hold on to the artifacting that was created by upscaling, was created by Mid-Journey, was created, any of our retouching may have introduced. So that's where we're at. So we're not using this file in Illustrator. This was just to kind of show you, and let's take a look at just the immense amount of curves that are in there. And we'll compare these files later to our finished one. But you can see there's a lot going on there, a lot of useless information, and a lot of information that is going to make your artwork look muddled and just not clean and precise at the end of the day. And right now, what we want is a very precise, clean vector file. So let's close this guy down. We're not saving him. Or should I save him? Wait a minute. Let's see. Let me save him because we're going to compare him later. While I love this artwork, this is not the color palette I want. This color palette speaks to autumn in Vermont. It's got the warm tones. It's, you know, while yes, there is a little bit of skiing in Vermont during the autumn and a little bit of a crossover, while there's still some leaves on the trees, that is not what we're saying here. This looks like some global warming junk. So, for a ski poster, snowboarding poster, outdoor winter poster, winter tourism, I want to create a nice, cool palette. So what we're gonna do is create. So down here, you push your adjustment layer. We're gonna create a gradient map. Oh my God. That's some utopian scariness. Okay. Stop coughing. Trying to get through this. This is important stuff. Like, I thought people are listening. Okay. So first thing I want to do is I want to make this linear because I want the steps between our colors as abrupt as possible. Why? Because that creates less colors. Less colors mean less curves in Illustrator. That's going to be our theme here. So if I double click on or single click on my gradient in the properties of the gradient map, I'm just going to select something out of the blue. God, I am a genius when it comes to art. All right. So here is a nice little gradient. And you're like, Rob, that looks like I'm looking through blue sunglasses. What am I doing? Okay. So our first thing is the tone of this artwork. Obviously, I want the snow to be white. And the snow is the brightest thing. That was kind of that off yellowish snow. Yellow snow. So I'm going to change let's see. I just moved what was the highlight over to the center. So that's a mid-tone. Now my new highlight color, which is off to the right, it's going to be white. Look at that. Brought out the clouds, brought out the snow. It's hitting all the right notes. Now, I'm going to slide this over and kind of see where. So everything up to about 50% is. Oh, I got to let go of it. There we go. Sorry. Rookie move. Okay. So, let's see. I want to make sure that white is hitting 100%, that there's no gradation in the white. Also, my sky, I'm a little less concerned about the sky because I am going to completely replace the background of the sky. And that's a simple thing, but it's going to it's the simplest way to clean up a lot of nonsense. So let's crush this a little bit more. But I do need a difference between my sky and clouds. Like, I can't just wash it out because then I could lose the definition of the clouds. So we're going to go right about there. Now let's look at the dark end. I'm going to pull this guy in a little bit. And I'm really looking at the relationship between these. Like, I don't want the colors to be close enough where it's creating multiple colors. So I put in another color at the dark end, and I'm bringing that way down. This is going to build contrast in our image. Okay. Now, do I want to go black? If I go black, that's kind of interesting. I mean, that's some heavy contrast there. But I think, do I want it blue or black? Whoa. I think I want it blue. Or blue. This is going to be more of a monochromatic design. Okay, there's our blue. So we've got a dark blue. We've got shadow highlight. It's kind of a shadow highlight, and then we have a highlight. And that's giving us some good variation. I see all the parts separated all the elements separated. If you start looking in here, you can see like some haloing right around the cloud. So, you know, that would create a lot of curves in Illustrator. All right, so we're also going to add eventually our what did I just do? I didn't realize my Cintiq had finger painting on. Okay, down here, we will, when we're in Illustrator, add some text back for the poster. But this looks pretty good. I like this gradient. I think this is cool. As I say, I'm not too concerned with the coloring of the sky because I am going to replace that. But I think we've got a good palette here. It's fun palette. You know, you can always get wild too. Like, let's just for sake of, let's see, between this blue and that blue, like, where does that guy live? Like, maybe this guy need to be, oh. Nope. I was just seeing if I threw something completely complementary to the see how it would just shift the design. Okay, so let's save this guy as he's retouched, and now he is he is retouched, and now he's got his new color palette. And let's cool palette, so we know where we are. All right, now our next step, we're reducing the amount of colors that are being used in this, and this is an important one. So, because right now there's gradients, there's, like, you can see things are kind of blended in there. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go image mode, and we're gonna, it's 8-bit. We're gonna go to indexed. Oh, wait a minute. Let's do one other thing. We're gonna make this easier on ourselves. We're gonna save, copy, and we'll call it Cool Palette Ref. All right, so we've got our reference image here, and we have our Cool Palette image. So first, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to our reference image, and we are going to flatten this guy. And this comes into play as we move forward and we're doing color selection from the reference image. It has to be flattened, or you start to get these weird things from Photoshop. We're gonna go back to our Cool Palette, our original file. We're gonna go to mode, and we are going to go to indexed color. It's gonna ask us to flatten it. We are going to flatten it. And now it's changed, it's shifted the color. Why did it do that? Well, I have it local selective is our palette. I'm gonna leave it at 11 colors right now. That's more than we're gonna need, but let's leave it there. Now, if we select on custom, boom, now it pulls up the forced colors. This is our forced color palette. So that's why it shifted, was this color palette was loaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 colors here. I think what I want to do, maybe we'll just change this to a 6-color palette. Oh, you got to have 7. So we'll do a 7-color palette. So it's janky still because we have our custom palette set to this. what we're going to do is let's go to our dark tones or our darkest color. We select that square, go over to our original or our reference image, which is flattened. We're going to select that color, and bingo, it's moved that color into our darkest tones. I actually did that wrong. I should have selected down here, which was our darkest color. So there we go. Now, the next one I'm going to jump to the white. Just make sure that is a full white. I don't need to select it. I just need to know that my highlights are 100% white for this image. Other images, that may change. All right, so now let's go dark to bright. I selected my third color, and this would be the darkest. I would say this is our next color. And I select that. Bingo, it's shifted it in there. We're getting some weirdness in here, and that is just because our colors are too close. But that also, I can use the Alt key and, is it the Alt key? No, the Option key to remove colors from the palette. So let's move on to our next color. I'll put that right there, and I'm just going through and I'm selecting what color. Oh, look at that. This guy is there, and this guy is. So that's registering that as the same. Those colors may be just a little too close. All right. And okay. Okay, so we are going to just select colors. So I see there's no separation there. So I need to get that other blue, which is really this blue, in there. And I know these are close, but it gives us this separation. Gives the separation we need right there. All right, and we need to add some detail up here. This is where things are a little strange, because I'm adding more colors than we want. But as I say with the sky, I'm going to clean that up later. How many colors do we have here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 colors. Is there any details that are not falling into place? I don't want any dithering. Nope, I think everything is falling exactly where I want it. You see, we've got multiple colors in here. Again, though, we're reducing the impact of these color variations on our artwork as we move forward. So I'm going to zoom out, take a look at this. As I say, I am going to have to clean up this sky. There's no way around it. Just, I'm going from top to bottom, making sure everything just falls into place. Mountains, trees, I mean, what I may do, so these two colors look really close to me. So I think I'm going to take this guy and just darken him a little bit, like just so there's a difference. Still clean up in here. I could make this guy, I mean, I kind of like that. Let's, yeah, just make him a little bit more blue. See, now we're introducing noise. And that gets rid of it. We go back to our original. You know, this is also a reason you got to be real precise when you're selecting your when you are selecting your color palette to use. Okay. I think that is where we're at. And okay, that looks like it's gonna work. So I say, okay, there's our index colors. We know how many colors are being used in the image. Looking good. Now it's time to bring this into Illustrator. Let's open this guy up. Open up indexed. There's our image. We're gonna select our image right there. We're gonna go image trace. So once again, we're dealing with our color palette. How many? I think I said I had. What was my 7? Was it 7? Okay, so we're gonna go color. Let's turn preview off. Let's bring our color palette down to 7. So I see some wobbly stuff in here. And things have just gotten muddy. So we'll turn preview off. As many paths as possible, as many corners as possible. And we will reduce the noise. All right. You know, looking at this, looks good. I like it. So that's that. What we're going to do is we're going to expand this. Boom. And now look at that. So this is where we want to compare our original image from Mid-Journey. So let's pull these guys out and just take a comparison look at the nonsense that we have just reduced and simplified. And this is where your graphic design is really going to shine. And all right, so there we go. This is our new one. Our blue one is our new one. Our red one is the one that we traced right out of Mid-Journey. So you can see like how crisp and clean these curves are. And we're gonna do more to clean this up, but take a look like how many curves are there. And now come over here and look at the one that came right from Mid-Journey, and how many curves there are, and how many gradations, and unintended colors that are added because you have all of these bits and pieces. Look at that. Look at these curves compared to our curves. We are creating a very clean, scalable vector file. All right, that's the important part. That's where the money is. That's what I wanted to show you guys. We still have ways to go with this image, but that is where that's what separates the pros from the amateurs. All right, so we're gonna close the original, get this back to where it needs to be, and we're gonna move on. So now we've got this into its own group. What do we want to do? I think our first step in Illustrator is going to be, why don't we simplify this sky? And to do that, I'm going to take this and I'm going to ungroup it. I'm going to take our sky, just looking to see what elements we have here. So I can use this, that. Okay. These are, I'm looking at what elements that I'm keeping that are going to be landmarks for me deciding how big the sky is. And I have enough edges here to snap to figure that out. So, deleted. Deleted. We're just, let's see. Why don't we go through, select our clouds here. I like that there's snow in these, but I don't want to select all that snow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect our clouds that I want to keep. Oops. Heck, you. Selecting all the clouds I want to keep. Let's just group those. Where are you? It is bracket and where are you? All right. So all right, so let's find our clouds that we just selected. Here we go. And this is a rough selection, so right there's our group. We're going to select our group and then option bracket. There we go. Shift option bracket. Should bring it to the top. Excellent. We're going to lock that. So I want to select all of this. Okay. So I'm going to select all this stuff, and this is the background. I locked the clouds, so they will be where they need to be. There we go. All right. So our group of clouds is still there. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a square. Let's make it something obnoxious, like a red square. And we're going to snap. I want to see. There we go. Everything's snapped to where it should be. We'll go under here. Huh. All right, there we go. So we've thrown that all the way to the back of the stack. So basically, if you look in your layer panel, go all the way down, our red triangles in the back. Now, obviously we don't want it to be red. I'm just doing that so it makes it obvious if there's any holes in my mat, if there's any weird transparency, anything like that. I want to make it obvious. So we've got our red. Let's change that to a blue color that we like. It'd be great if we could do a couple. We could put a gradient in there and make it, but this is a chiseled out artwork, so having a gradient may be a little weird. Let's select a color. What? I'm selecting a color from within. That makes it look like night if I go with the dark. If I go with some, oh, well, see, now that's nice. That's kind of a daytime vibe to it. I'll take it. I like it. And it's a color that exists in our, within our color palette that we've so carefully designed. So we have these snowflakes, and I may add snowflakes later, but let's get rid of them for now because there's no subtlety with design. If you want something in your design, don't tiptoe around it. Make sure people know it's there. If I want snow, there's going to be a lot of snow. There's not going to be one spot and somebody be like, oh, wait, did he? That's not, oh, that's the center to my rectangle. So there we go. That's looking good. Okay, so as I was saying, yeah, if you're going to have snow, you have snow everywhere. If you're going to leave one or two snowflakes floating around in there, people are going to be like, is this bad design? What's going on? Why is there, that doesn't look right. You know, there's a little cleanup I see up here. And some of this, you know, you're gonna have to get tedious. But it's gonna pay off in reproduction. Like this guy right here. We'll go to our top. Oh, I see. That group is locked. So let's grab this guy. Just kind of clean up some of these clouds. So I'm deleting these points that are kind of all over the place so I can get a straight line, and then I select the two, you know, that I didn't delete because this is open between these two, and Apple J to join them. It's just the real obnoxious ones that I'm... Now select you, and it's Apple J, and we're closed. All right. I think that's looking really good. Let's move on. Okay. We've got that cleaned up. Let's, our next, I did promise that we were going to have some text in here. And it is that. Let's... Very nice. Let's see. Do I want to do anything? I don't want to get you guys into going down a... Oh, that's pretty cool. Boy, does that give a strong vibe. Oh, I like that. It's very curvy. It speaks with the design, you know, kind of the ornateness of the design. But boy, we're looking good here. Got our little skier in the middle. We've got Vermont. That is awesome. And everything is cleaned up. So what we can do now is I use some other, I have another plugin. Not everyone will have it. You could be done right here and just say, oh geez, where am I going here? I'm like sliding down. Look. All right. No, you could be done here. Call it a day. I have one program that I like to use. It's invaluable if you're an illustrator and you work in Illustrator a lot. Astute Graphics. Go buy their plugins. Support them. This isn't sponsored in any way. I can run my business because of these plugins. They are just awesome. So I'm going to open up Vector First Aid. And what I'm going to do is, how's this work? Check selection. So I selected everything. I'm going to check the selection and see what issues it comes up with. And this is like redundant points, inconsistent point types, unnecessary handles, like 23,000 of them. And we've been pretty good like cleaning this up. Imagine if we were doing that in the beginning. So basically this isn't going to make a difference to the look of it, but I'm going to fix all issues. And look at that, 21,000 unnecessary handles have been removed. Just clean up this stuff. 10 paths rejoined. Let's check the selection again. We have 1 short handle, 9 filled unstroked open paths, 67 access alignable paths. Don't know what that means. I'd be lying to you if I knew, but hey, if they think that it's going to make my file a little better, I love it. And inconsistent just fix all of them. Boom. Look at that, we're done. Now what we're going to do is save as. This is retouch, cool palette, indexed, final, final. And I know it's final. I'm not going to do final. I'm final. No. All right. So there it is. That is our still. Okay. There it is, guys. All right. So we have cleaned up this image from the very impressionistic Mid-Journey file that was kind of a mess, and we made it into a really clean Illustrator file. All right, guys, so there we are. We have just cleaned up a very complicated raster file, that would not have scaled up really well. We've cleaned it up and converted it into a very efficient vector file. As I say, I will be using this. I will be selling this this file, this poster, as a printable piece. AI is fantastic. It's super smart, but it does introduce a lot of artifacting and things that you have to clean up. AI is here. It's here to stay. But we do need to figure out processes and things on how to use it. And, there are no one-button solutions. So you got to put the time in, and you got to have a good idea on what your expectations are. All right. It was great doing this tutorial. Until next time, thanks for watching. Hey, you can like, subscribe. I'm going to do a lot more of these things. All right. Thank you.